Greetings and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Dungeons 2. I think I forgot to mention that in the previous episode. And in any case, I also need to research the hospital again. Because yeah, that will happen. If creatures die on the surface, they will not get back up. If they die in the dungeon, they will just they lie unconscious until they get dragged to a place where they can become not unconscious. Ooh, that archer needs to die.
A small group of Alliance troops had gathered here. The presence of the Nagas ensured that the all-seeing evil could see even the cloaked youths.
Alright, this is getting ridiculous. And let's get back to the dungeon for a moment, because I do want to bring a goblin along. Not sure why it bothers telling me about the invisible units, because, well, I don't have any. And right now, the goblins I can't turn into units that can turn invisible. Alright. Well, the Nagas are not having much luck defeating that. I would like that book. But right now that seems a bit dangerous. Here. Regenerate. And you can have that book. Now, it is a bit dangerous to leave my dungeon undefended, but...
The Horde reached the Nagas' camp. They were not able to offer the ultimate evil much help. However, they spoke of an artifact that was hidden deep down in the mountain. It would make defeating the Alliance a piece of cake. The Nagas opened a portal to the artifact using their ancient magic. The insidious evil debated briefly whether it was worth the risk. Finally, however, it decided it was only a question of its creatures' lives, and of course, the ultimate evil didn't give a toss about them.
Alright, let's go then.
The Horde had passed through the Naga portal and found themselves in an old altar chamber, in the center of which lay a very ancient-looking object. This had to be the artifact. Some creatures appeared to be guarding it.
Alright. Now, I can't control what my creatures do, so they will just have to operate manually, or automatically, rather.
There are enemies in your dungeon. It's payday. I don't believe it. Is there really still a guard at the artifact? My goodness, my grandma would have finished the whole game by now. Move your butt, do something.
Hey. Well done.
A hospital had been built. From now on, wounded monsters could be cured there.
Now, let's see. This book is probably good.
Weensy hint. These artifact guards are preventing you from continuing. Get rid of them.
Like it's that easy. And I'd love to get on with it, but unfortunately, I can't. And right now my hospital isn't all that effective.
I don't believe it. Is there really still a guard at the artifact? My goodness, my grandma would have finished the whole game by now. Move your butt, do something.
Alright, just hold your horses. Alright, let's get going before he starts yelling at me again.
Some creatures had been hiding in a secret room. They joined the ultimate evil.
More goblins. And just regular goblins, alright.
The artifact was still being guarded by creatures. The slow evil might want to consider taking care of them. Pronto. Once the artifact guards were eliminated, the artifact began to glow. It almost seemed to be waiting to be picked up. It looked as if the artifact would fit perfectly into the mysterious altar base that lay deep within the dungeon of the ultimate evil. Maybe it would be a good idea to place it there. The artifact was currently lifeless. It needed some magic. The expanding evil's creature's next task was to expose some mana crystals. This mana would be necessary to charge the artifact up.
Alright, that is indeed something we need to do. And let's set up some traps here so we can have a little bit of peace and quiet while we work on that. And I would like to get that, but I don't have the gold for it. Alright, so we have some more incoming. That's fine. Ooh, another book was revealed. Right. Work rate. I suppose I'll put that on one of my goblins. Right, another bed. Now I'm spacing them out a little bit because, well, there are some minor pathing issues which I'd like to pretend I'm avoiding by doing this. It's not strictly speaking necessary, just sometimes I feel my creatures are getting hung up on the doodads. That's a pity. Hope that they take care of that. Now the problem with these parties here is that they have a bard with them. Now bards, much like my goblin assassins, can disable traps. All traps, really. The explosive trap only works because it looks like a treasure chest,
the artifact is under attack.
So the enemies go for that. Yeah. Those guys need to die first, in all circumstances.
Payday.
Let's bring in another snot. Right. Just don't have the gold.
The mana crystals had finally been dug up. Magic crackled in the air. Oh no, wait, that's just the popcorn I'm making. But a mana crystal on its own was really of no value to the ultimate evil. It would take a crystal chamber to make this valuable asset usable. A room was quickly installed under the crystal.
Well, it would be if I had gold. I mean, there's plenty of gold around, just not being dug up at the moment. Alright, let's keep on expanding at least one of them. Alright, so my trap is in place. That's one. Now, having this means that my Naga can actually start researching. Or at the very least mine for mana. That really won't do much for me at the moment, but in time it will become much more important.
The crystal chamber shone with the brilliance of a freshly painted room. To exploit this effectively, the success-enabling evil was now able to recruit Nagas. At this exact moment, the clan conveniently placed some of these snake-like beings at its disposal.
Yes, that is indeed very convenient, since I'm now able to exceed my population cap. But I'm sure Belkristen, Tai Swift, Pirlassa and Isavid and Pantessa are all eager to work for me. To create spells. Let's first create a horde spell. Create a horde is essentially just rally the troops. Which is very, very useful indeed. Now, my snots would be so kind as to actually give me some money to work with.
Apparently, it had not escaped the notice of the Alliance's magicians that something disturbing was going on in the underground. So they decided to mount powerful attacks on the dungeon. But the ultimate evil had been warned. That's what I'm doing right now, by the way. And created such a formidable defense that it would have brought tears to the eyes of any tower defense player.
Alright. Nope. Just give me the tar trap. And the rest of the rooms can come inside. Alright, let's just dig out some more of this soft gold. I mean, I know there's another spider lair over here. Should probably be aware of that. Right, here they come.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. A cry for help from a few Nagas trapped in a very remote area reached the ultimate evil while it was defending the dungeon. Maybe they could be saved by using a spell, which was ready to be unlocked in the crystal chamber.
Alright, the panic retreat spell. Well, I do want that, but I need a lot of mana for that. So, let's get some help going here.
Slowly, but surely, the artifact filled itself up with magic.
So, very nicely done. Alright, we have the mana. let's see. Let's increase the efficiency of that. Alright, so we have the tar pit.
Wave tactics of the Alliance had so far proven unsuccessful. So, a strategic genius had decided to open up a second entrance to the underground in order to send, well, wave after wave of units into the dungeon. The ultimate evil had learned a spell. This would enable the Nagas to be rescued. It immediately set about doing so.
Alright.
There are enemies in your dungeon. The artifact was filled with the spell ensured the Nagas' safe passage into the dungeon of the ultimate evil. Excellent work. They are attacking the artifact.
Just some spiders over here. My guys can take care of this. Right, but we have liberated some new units. Aside from the regular Nagas, which are just your basic ranged units.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Well, they're almost snipers, really. Almost. We also now have some Medusas. Which are essentially ranged spellcasters. Very useful. Very good. Right, we have gained another book for more HP. Right, Vethuk. Well, once you've defeated these guys, I'll give it to you. So right now I'm a little bit worried about it landing on the wrong person.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
Yeah. Yes, move very slowly while getting hit by this contraption. And summon the horde. And then dismiss the ward.
Right. The artifact was almost bursting with energy. It was now producing mana independently and ready to stand by the ultimate evil's side in the battle for the temple. It also gave the ultimate evil access to a few more magic spells. Now it was time to take the temple and destroy Krotos. The ultimate evil gathered all the troops together to attack in one devastating wave.
All right. So let's get going with that.
There are enemies in your dungeon. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Yeah, these traps alone are just not enough anymore. Could do with a door.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Alright. Let's focus on defeating the enemy. But that unfortunately I'll have to wait until next time. Thank you all for watching. See you then.